Hello, good morning, all of you. So today we are going to start a revision on third chapter, that is conductors and dielectrics. Okay. In this chapter, conductors and dielectrics, first point is current and current density. So you already know what is mean by current. So current is nothing but the flow of charges, and this current is also defined as a rate of is also defined as rate of flow of charge with respect to time. So this current I is equal to dq upon dt, as charge is measured in coulomb and time in second. Its unit is coulomb per second, or it is also measured in ampere. Then the next point is current density. So current density, we have seen the flux density, right? Uh, we have seen different volume charge densities, etc. So any density is nothing but that particular term divided by area. Okay, so flux density is flux per unit area. That may be electric flux, that may be the magnetic flux. Okay, so here the current density is nothing but current flowing per unit area, that is nothing but current density. So here current density is denoted by J bar. This is equal to, and J bar is equal to I divided by A, means current divided by area. And this A, its unit is ampere per meter square. Okay, now we have to find the relation between current I and J bar, that is current density. Now here we are considering the two cases when we are considering a surface, and through that surface, when current is flowing. Okay, through that surface when current is flowing, then the current density direction is also same as current. Okay, current is flowing in same current density is in direction of the current only. Okay, so uh, they are, means this current density is here normal to the surface or perpendicular to the surface. Now we are considering the another case, second case. In second case, this current density is making some angle theta with the plane. Okay, with the plane. So actually unit vector perpendicular to the plane is given as a bar n here, and the current density and it is making some angle theta with the current density. Okay, then here the equations of this uh, differential surface area and current density are given, and from that we obtain the equation as current I is equal to surface integral of J bar dot ds bar. Okay, actually we have also seen this equation, means we have seen in first chapter the line, surface and volume integral, right? So in that line, surface and while finding the surface integral, we can, from that surface integral we can find the current flowing through the surface, and how we can find the current flowing through the surface is explained here. Okay, so that current I is equal to the surface integral of J bar dot ds bar. Okay, then here one example is given. In cylindrical coordinates, J bar is equal to 10 e raised to minus 100 I r a bar phi ampere per meter square. Find the current crossing through the region 0.01 is less than equal to r, less than equal to 0.02 meter, and z is varying from 0 to 1 meter, and intersection of this region with phi is equal to constant plane. Means here, as we have to find the current, and J bar is given, we must know the formula. J bar current I is equal to J bar closed surface integral, or that may be the open surface, that surface integral of J bar dot ds bar. Now here J bar is already given, but you have to find ds bar. Now how to find this ds bar, differential surface area? Yes, how to find this differential surface area? Here which coordinate system is given? Cylindrical coordinate system is given, right? So in cylindrical coordinate system, the coordinates are r, phi and z. Now here you can see the r coordinate is given, which is varying from 0.01 to 0.02, and z is varying from 0 to 1. If r and z are varying, then phi is constant, right? Your phi is constant. If phi is constant plane, then the perpendicular vector to this r and z plane will be a bar phi. Okay, perpendicular unit vector will be a bar phi, this vector. Okay, so we can write this ds bar as for r the differential length is dr, for z differential length is dz, and unit vector perpendicular to this r and z plane is a bar z. Okay, as this is given already in the example. Okay, so just find this j bar dot ds bar, and from that you can find the current I flowing through the surface. Okay, then next point is point form of Ohm's law. So there are some points what is mean by this drifting of electrons. So I already told you. So when we are considering conductors, that time we are applying some external voltage or external potential, right? So when we are applying some external supply, then there is a movement of electrons or a movement of charges in the conductor. Okay, so what is mean by this drifting? So when this moving charges or moving electrons uh, they collide each other, and uh, uh, they are going in any direction. Okay, when they collide each other, then it is called the drifting of electrons. Then what is the drift velocity? This drift velocity is nothing but when they collide each other, after that, after some time, they attain some velocity, means they get their mm, velocity somewhat. Okay, and that constant average velocity, here you can see after some time electrons attain the constant average velocity called the drift velocity, means this is after the collision. Okay, yeah, or here they are giving the word strike. Okay, when these electrons strike the adjacent atoms and rebound in the random directions. Okay, so this is the drifting of electrons and drift velocity. Drifting of electrons means what? When we are considering one conductor, then we are applying some potential across this conductor, then the electrons or charges in get uh, moving. Okay, they start moving, and they collide each other or strike each other or adjacent atoms, and again they attain some speed or velocity, and that is nothing but drift velocity. Then what is the drift current? So the current constituted due to the drifting of such electrons in metallic conductors, okay, is called the drift current. Okay, we have just seen, after the collision these electrons are again moving, okay, with some drift velocity, and when they start moving it will produce the current. Okay, and whatever current produced by such electrons is nothing but the drift current. Okay, so the drift velocity is directly proportional to the applied field. Okay, so this drift velocity is denoted by v bar t, and it is proportional to E bar. So the constant of proportionality here is mu E. Okay, and what is mu E? This mu E is the mobility of electrons. Okay, mu E is the mobility of electrons. Actually, in our magnetostatic fields, we have seen this mu is the permeability, but here it is mu E. So it is mu E means it is the mobility of the electrons. Okay, so this V bar D is equal to minus mu E into E bar. And why there is a minus sign? Why there is minus sign? Because the velocity of electrons is against the direction of electric field. Can anyone explain or tell me why the direction is in opposite direction of E bar? Okay, no problem. So this mu is equal to mobility, which is the velocity upon field. So this velocity is measured in meter per second, and field or electric field, this is nothing but electric field or electric field intensity is measured in joules per meter. So its unit is meter square per whole second. Okay, so this question may be asked as a MCQ type of question. Means mobility is denoted by or or the unit of mobility. Okay, this question may be asked in exam. And I think this point form of Ohm's law is also asked once in exam. Okay, so this may be asked for 4 marks. Okay, then so from these two equations we can obtain the relation between J bar and E bar. So this J bar is equal to sigma into E bar. This sigma is the conductivity of material, and it is measured in mho per meter or Siemens per meter. Okay, and this sigma is equal to minus rho E into mu E. Then next point is continuity equation of current. So this continuity equation of current is asked many times in exam. This is asked for 6 marks or 8 marks. Okay. Mostly for in new question papers it is asked for 6 marks only, but it's important and I asked this question in ISC question paper also. Okay, because it is important question. So continuity equation of current. So this continuity equation of current is based on principle of conservation of charge. Okay, means charge can neither be created nor be destroyed. So means what, we are moving the charge from one point to another point. So if we are considering again a surface, then current passing through that surface is given by closed surface integral of J bar dot ds bar. Okay, so if the current is passing from the closed surface, then the current is that current, actually the current is given by dq upon dt. Okay, so when we are considering a closed surface, okay, if the surface is closed one, then there are some charges inside the surface, and these charges are producing electric field. Okay, that electric field is trying to go in outward direction of that closed surface. So mm, when we are moving the charges, so what is this continuity equation actually? This is based on principle of conservation of charge. Okay, means what, these charges can neither be created nor be destroyed when we are considering the closed surface. Okay, imagine a closed surface, and in that closed surface number of charges are placed. Okay, so if there are number of charges, and when these charges are producing current, then the direction of current will be outward. Okay, will be in direction of hello, okay, in outward direction. So if I move the charge from inside of that surface to the outside, to the outside, then what will happen? Actually, the total charge within that closed surface get decreased. Total charge get decreased, but that charge get decreased in the closed surface only, okay, because I'm moving that charge from that closed surface to the outside, to the outside, okay. So here, if the charge qi is the charge within the closed surface, then minus dqi upon dt is the rate of decrease of charge inside the closed surface. Means what? I am moving that charge from that closed surface to the outside. So when that charge is moved, then that total charge inside that closed surface get decreased. Actually, current is not changed. Value of current is not changing. Okay, it is just it's the charge which is produced within the the current which is produced within the surface, inside the surface, get decrease here, okay. So here negative sign indicates the decrease in current, means we are moving the charge from inside to the outside, okay. So that decreasing charge is given by current I is equal to closed surface integral of j bar dot ds bar, and it is equal to minus q d dqi upon dt, okay. So this is nothing but a rate of decrease in the charges inside the closed surface, inside the closed surface. Now the negative sign in the equation indicates outward flow of current from the closed surface. So and equation 2 is indicating outward flowing current I, okay. So whatever equation we have seen. Now if there are charges outside that closed surface, outside the closed surface, and when the charges are entering uh, or when we are moving that charge, or and consequently we are moving the current flowing through that outside surface towards the inside surface, then what happens? Then we are going in opposite direction. Actually, when we are placing the number of charges inside the closed surface, that time inside the closed surface, that time the current flowing in outward direction of that closed surface. But when we are placing the charges outside that closed surface, then these charges will produce current, but these charges will produce current in direction of inside the closed surface, inside the closed surface, which is in opposite direction of the previous one. So when we are moving from outside to the inside, means whatever current is flowing is from direction outside towards inside, then that current is given by closed surface integral of j bar dot ds bar is equal to minus I, and it is equal to plus dqi upon dt. Means simply here sign get changed. So the point form of continuity equation can be obtained from integral form, so using divergence theorem. So what is divergence theorem? Divergence theorem is closed surface integral of d bar dot ds bar is equal to volume integral of rho v dv, and this rho v is nothing but del dot d bar, okay. So here, instead of this d bar, just replace this d bar by j bar from the divergence theorem. So we get the closed surface integral of j bar dot ds bar is equal to volume integral of del dot j bar into dv, okay. So we are writing here the surface integral in the form of divergence theorem. Now here we can find this del dot j bar has the current. When we are considering that current is flowing in outward direction of closed surface, that time that current is here minus dqi upon dt, okay. So here you can solve the equation and again consider the current when it is flowing in inward direction of the closed surface, then you can find this final equation as del dot the j bar is equal to minus dA bar of V upon dA bar t. So this is the point form of Ohm's law. Okay. Or for steady currents which are not functions of time, if this is the point form of Ohm's law for time varying fields. Okay, equation number 5 is showing you the point form of Ohm's law for time varying field, and the last equation del dot j bar is equal to 0 is for static field. Okay. So if in the Maxwell's equations, last chapter, if they are asking the continuity equation of current, actually this continuity equation is derived separately in Maxwell's chapter also, sixth chapter, but you can refer this equation also for solving the derivation. Okay. Now the example is there. Find the total current in outward direction from a cube of 1 meter with one corner at the origin and edges parallel to the coordinate axis. Okay. We have to find the total current I in outward direction, which is flowing in outward direction of this cube or rectangle of 1 meter with means the length of the one side is 1 meter. Okay, with corner at the origin and edges parallel to the coordinate axis. Okay, these edges are parallel to the coordinate axis. You can see this x-axis is parallel. Okay, y and z is also parallel here to every edge of the rectangle. Then we have to find current, and current is equal to closed surface integral of j bar dot ds bar. Here j bar is given and we have to find ds bar first. Okay. So how to find ds bar? Actually here what we can say, the perpendicular vectors are we have to consider there. Here we are solving first the right hand side. Okay, del dot j bar, uh, that is nothing but the divergence. Okay, divergence of this vector j bar. Then find, and for a rectangular system or Cartesian coordinate system, the differential volume is dx, dy and dz. So solve first the right hand side, and or from right hand side only you can find this current I flowing through that, because for surface actually they have not mentioned the differential lengths and unit vectors specially. Okay. The next point is Poisson's and Laplace's equations. These equations are also important because these are asked in exam for 4 marks or 6 marks. Okay. These equations are derived from point form of Gauss law. Okay, so point form of Gauss law is del dot d bar is equal to rho v, right? So here the relation between d bar and e bar is d bar is equal to epsilon e bar. Now you here can find the difference that for free space. Okay, for free space we are using this epsilon 0 here. Okay, epsilon becomes epsilon 0 because their epsilon r is equal to 1. Okay, but here d bar is equal to epsilon into e bar. Okay, because here the relative permittivity is also taken into account. Okay, and from gradient relationship this e bar is equal to minus del into v. So just put this, so we get here del dot this epsilon and E bar is equal to minus del into V, which is equal to rho V. Okay, so taking this minus epsilon outside, we get minus epsilon into del dot del into V, and del dot del means it is a dot product, means it can be written as square. Okay, so we can write the equation as del square V is equal to minus rho V upon epsilon, and this is the Poisson's equation. And what is Laplace's equation? When this right term becomes 0, then it is the Laplace's equation, means del square V is equal to 0. Okay, and this Laplace's and Poisson's equation gives a unique solution. That's why it is used for finding different equations. Okay, in uniqueness theorem actually it is used. Now the del square operation in different coordinate system. Actually we have seen the different equations for this del operator, means for divergence, curl and gradient, right? But here there were only a single del operator, but when we are multiplying by again del, means when we are considering del square into V, which is the gradient. Okay, this del square V is the gradient of this scalar quantity, that is V. So this del square V is given as dabba square upon dabba square V upon dabba x square, or dabba 2V upon dabba y square plus dabba 2V upon dabba z square. Okay, so these are the Laplace's equations in Cartesian coordinate system. Similarly, you can write the equations in cylindrical and spherical coordinate systems. Okay, they may ask the examples on these equations. Okay, so frequently the theoretical question, means the derivation of this Poisson's and Laplace's equation, is asked mostly. So be prepared for with this equation, or they may ask as a MCQ type of question, they may ask only the final equation, that is the Laplace's equation is this is del square V is equal to 0. Okay, and Poisson's, what is the Poisson's equation only. Okay, so such type of MCQ type questions may be asked in exam. Okay, so this is one example on this Laplace's equation, that is del square V is equal to 0. Now in this you have to only prove this del square V is equal to 0. Verify the potential field given below satisfies the Laplace's equation. Means this V is equal to 2x square minus 3y square plus z square. So del square V is equal to 0. So you must know the del square equation. Okay, in each and every coordinate system. So here simple Cartesian coordinate system is used. So you can use that formula and just put to V and solve, so that you will get the del square V is equal to 0. Okay, and it must be equal to 0, then and then only it satisfies the Laplace's equation. Okay, then next point is dielectric materials. So we have seen different dielectric materials. So which are the dielectric materials? There are different properties of dielectric materials. Okay. So you know conductors. Okay. So what are conductors? Conductors, we are saying that these are good conductors. Good conductors means what? There are number of free electrons or number of charges. Okay, so the conductors have large number of free electrons, while insulators and dielectric materials do not have free charges. Okay, that's why current maximum current flows through the conductor. Okay, because there are number of free charges, but in dielectric materials there are very few free charges. Okay, so the charges in dielectrics are bound by a finite forces and hence called bound charges. Okay, so as they are bound and not free, they cannot contribute to the conduction process. Means what? Means current flowing through that uh, dielectrics is very low. Okay, but if subjected to an electric field, means when we are giving the external supply, then there may be flow of charges. Okay, they shift their relative positions, and against the normal molecular and atomic forces, the shift in the relative positions of bound charges allows the dielectrics to store the energy. Okay, means the best example is your capacitor. Okay, so how actually this happens? Now next point is polarization. So here uh, we, what is mean by this polarization? So here we are considering a nucleus. Okay, so this nucleus has the number of electrons and has number of electrons. Okay, so here uh, we are actually at start we are not applying the any electric field. So when this electric field is equal to 0, okay, is when this E bar is 0, then the number of positive charges is same as the number of negative charges. Means what? uh, this atom is neutral. Okay, but when we are giving some external supply or external electric force electromotive force, then there will be shifting of these electrons. Okay, but when the applied electric field or E is equal to 0, then due to these positive and negative charges, okay, they are forming an electric dipole. We have seen just in last lecture what is mean by that electric dipole. So that electric dipole means the two same charges are placed in opposite direction with some particular distance, by small distance. Okay, they are separated by a small distance, but their sign is different. Okay, we are considering the plus q and minus q charge. Okay, when we are not applying the force, then there will be equal positive and negative charges, but and these charges are forming an electric dipole, and that is nothing but uh, that is called the unpolarized atom. Okay, but when we are applying some electric force, okay, electromotive force, then uh, that force F bar is equal to q into E bar. Okay, and when we are applying that force, these electrons get collide each other, and due to that some current will be flowing, okay, through that dielectric material also. Okay, and when this that atom is called a polarized atom. Okay, when we are applying the electric field, then mathematical expression for polarization. So here we are considering the dipole moment which is given by P bar. Can anyone tell me the unit of dipole moment? Yesterday just we have seen dipole moment. Yes. Uh, they are asking you MCQ type of question on this dipole moment, electric dipole moment, either equation or unit. Can anyone tell me the unit? Okay, if you don't remember, at least from this equation, can you tell me the unit? Yes,
Kilometer.
coulomb meter. Correct, coulomb meter. Correct. So either you must know the equation, okay, then you can easily write the unit. And for current also, for electric field intensity also, there are two units. Okay, so you must know the basic equation. If they are not for electric field intensity, unit is joule per coulomb also, and holes per meter also. Okay, two units are there. So any one of these two is given, then you have to write that particular unit there. Then for current also, they are not, if they are not giving directly ampere, they may give you coulomb per second. Okay, so and for same for potential also, so you have to write the particular unit there. Okay, so uh, this polarization question actually, uh, it's not as I have not seen in question paper, but still, if they are asking, then be prepared with this polarization also, because as question is in syllabus, every time these questions get changed. Okay, we cannot say that this cannot be asked in exam, so be prepared with all.